Let's party. Ignore all this stuff here. We're just going to start from the beginning. So we're going to go File, New Library. Okay, I'm going to give that a name. We're just going to call it Lil Dickman Test. So that creates a library. And that is being saved on my desktop. Okay, so if we go to the desktop, I'll have Lil Dickman Test right there. Okay, so I can open it up from there. So open with Final Cut. And it's open. So I've got Lil Dickman Test. Now I want to import media, so I'm going to go New Event. And we'll call it Lil Test again. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to import the media into Lil Test. So go to my desktop, and I should have a folder I've created a little bit earlier called Lil Dickman Test. Open that, Control A, I beg your pardon, Command A. Import all. Now before I do that, okay, I'm going to create proxy media files. So we're going to come down here and see where it says Create Proxy Media and click on that. Okay, now that's going to take a bit of time to render. I've only saved, ignore all of this stuff here, it's just this stuff here we're worrying about. Now this is it importing, and it's actually creating proxy media. So it's creating, proxy files, but it's also saving the high res ones as well. So we'll come back to that. So here we go. It's almost we've almost downloaded all of the vision as proxy files, which will reference back to the 4K ones. So I'll show you how to do that in a second. So this is almost done. It takes ages too. Almost done. So the next thing we're going to do after this, as soon as this is done, which is apparently just seconds away, is we're going to open up a new project. Okay, now that's done. So we're going to go New Project, and we're going to call it. Before we do that, we'll take a step backwards. Make sure that we're in this region here. Okay, so either Lil Dickman Test, that event, or that event. Now that's where the vision is. All right, so we're gonna create a new project. Okay, and we're gonna call it Lil Test 1. It was shot in 4K, so we go to video format, scroll down to 4K, and I think it was in 60 frames, so we'll save it as that, and that is a new project. So what's going to happen when I click this is a new project has happened. All right, so we click on the project and we drop some vision into the timeline. And I'm just going to do this very, very quickly because it's 4K. Now this is proxy media. So what you need, actually no, you're viewing this in optimized media. So what you do is you go to View, Proxy Media. Okay, so we're editing in proxy media. Okay, this means that it's really, really fast. And if we go back to optimized, that's the proper 4K, but it takes a while to render and it's very glitchy. Okay, so we're editing in proxy media. When we export, we always export an optimized digital media. And that is pretty much it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to Dropbox you the Dickman library to see if it works on your machine. So this is the Dickman library that I just created. I'm just going to Dropbox that. We'll let that do its thing, and I'll get back to you shortly because that's 5.6 gigs.